sides. They've got Mars Disruptor. Mars, no surprises whatsoever. The most popular hero of the Southeast Asia DPC, the most picked. Perhaps because heroes like Monkey and Weaver get banned so much. So, you know, it's kind of that really, really good hero that isn't good enough to be auto-banned, although, you know, some teams are banning it here and there. But the perhaps biggest surprise is the Disruptor. Usually the Mars is being paired up with...
remaining.
I mean, Disruptor, a good combo, but maybe not the one we've seen the most of. We've seen some Mars Dark Willow. We've seen some Mars Rubik, because that's what's going to come out. They're not going to necessarily be paired up. It looks like 5-position Disruptor with the Rubik playing in the off lane with the Mars. Good Rubik game. You're playing against Weaver. Anytime I feel like 4 positions see a Weaver in that time, they're like, great, pick me Rubik. I'm going to have some fun. And that's with Disruptor. It gives them, you know, good catch, good ways to deal with this Weaver, even though it is just a support. You generally want to have that silence, that catch. Perhaps similar story with the Monkey King. If you ever do get vision of him, you can use that glimpse to set up tons of stuns, spear, telekinesis, kinetic field, etc. Static storm, you know. Everyone, you know the Disruptor combo. So we'll see where Army Geniuses go with their last 2 picks. Kind of typical stuff. Save your cores for last. Other than the Mars, they pick it first. It's just so good, but then they're going to pick their supports because they want to leave Polaris guessing, like, okay, what's the carry going to be? What's the mid going to be?
Pick.
And Polaris, similar thing. They're picking supports. Probably. Snapfire has had some flex potential in the mid lane, in the off lane, but these days, typically you're seeing that Snapfire just go into that support role. Whether it's 4 or 5, we'll have to wait and see. Definitely with the Weaver, that's another hero that can go 4 position
10
or 5
seconds
position.
Remaining.
Such a strong laner. The bugs in lane are just so damn annoying.
5
all
seconds
3,
remaining.
All 3 of your spells as Weaver are like amazing laning spells. Heroes don't like to hit the bugs off. They take too long to kill. Gemini, you get a double hit, so your harass is just crazy. And then this is without even mentioning Sakuchi. Weaver is just one of these heroes that is going to get hit by the frog. Ice Frog's like, you know, I'm seeing what Weaver's doing and I've had enough. This hero can't get away with what it does dominating lane stages, I feel. They get some more minus armor. They've got Snapfire, they've got Tide, they've got Weaver. 3 heroes, heavy minus armor, a lot of physical damage. That, you know, good news for the Monkey King and potentially whatever they get for the mid lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Or it could be a Monkey mid. So definitely a draft that can take objectives well.
Razor.
And that's something that Army Geniuses have to kind of respect and take note of here. So we'll see how they respond. For now, it's the Razor. So, you know, standard carry, or really an anti-carry. Good against the Tide in lane, good against the Monkey King, just steal this damage, and we'll see
10 seconds
how
remaining.
This one manages to go.
5 seconds remaining.
Might have to quickly adjust some of these audio settings, get this music down. Do realize that for some people the sound is maybe a little bit off, but yep, we'll be as said, guys. I'm a last minute stand-in for MLP. Unfortunately, something came up for MLP. He's doing all right. Don't have to worry about him, but I'm just here by myself until later on when John X Fire will be joining me for game number 2 and 3, or potentially game number 3. That's not a spoiler. I don't know if we're having a game 3, but also for the second series of today, which is going to be Lilgun versus Ragdoll. That's perhaps the one to really get excited about, because Ragdoll also 4-0 like Polaris. Both Ragdoll and Polaris want to keep winning, but Lilgun perhaps the tougher opponent to take on.
Dire team ban.
And we'll see if the Filipinos Polaris Esports can get the job done, get business out of the way with our first series, or if Army Geniuses are going to show up. As mentioned, there's a lot to play for Army Geniuses. They don't want to get eliminated. They want to stay in Division 2. They need some wins, and sometimes you got to try to get those wins against the teams sitting at the top of the tables. That's something that OB Neon up in Division 1 had to do. They took down T1 in maybe a bit of a surprise upset. It wasn't a total surprise because of how well Neon had been doing in non-DPC tournaments. They won a Huya Invitational event against some top Division 1 Chinese teams. But they were on the brink of elimination. They were 0-3. So they said, okay, we're taking on T1. They're undefeated. We don't care. We're going to get our wins here. And that's what Army Geniuses have to do here, as we see what both teams look to round their draft out with. It's going to be a Lina mid. Mentioned all the physical damage, the minus armor coming in, and Lina's a great hero with kind of that mixed damage, but late game, it's pretty much all physical damage. So we'll see if Lina is going to be the answer for Polaris Esports to round out their drafts. So, yep. One sec, guys. I do see some of the comments.
5 seconds remaining.
Reduce in-game volume and turn myself up a little bit. We can do that. Don't worry, guys. We'll get tweaked and worked on. There is a 5-minute stream delay, so sometimes getting this stuff, you know, adjusted can take a little bit of time, but do appreciate everyone's, you know, patience haven't actually produced and streamed for like this in a while. It's fun to be back. I mean, I've been back on the microphone casting all the SE Dota, but actually producing, observing, casting.
Tinker!
Man.
You may now select your heroes.
I don't know how these guys like MLP and Ares do it, and Cyclops. These guys are champs. This is hard work. But Tinker, oh boy, let's go. That's I mean, I was going to say fun pick, but I mean, you got to be careful about your words when you see a Tinker. You know, you're going to upset a vast majority of chat when you say you enjoy seeing a Tinker or you enjoy a Tinker. I don't play this hero, full disclaimer. But yes, Tinker comes out. This is kind of being... It's a bit... these days it is a surprise pick. Yeah, it's in lots of pubs, and people hate the hero, but it's not considered this overpowered pro game hero, as has always been the case. This is a hero that plagues pub games, but doesn't necessarily translate into being a good hero for competitive Dota. We'll see if Army Genius can make it work. This game, there is very little catch for the Tinker. There's a few nifty little things, like the bugs over the trees. Maybe the Monkey King also can go flying, scout him out over the trees. But Tinker, something that Azura's going to try, get Army Genius to win from. Perhaps catch Polaris by surprise. For Polaris, as mentioned, they're very physical damage heavy. The Lina late game scales with this new like BKB Silver Edge or Daedalus type build. With all the minus armor coming in from Tide, Snapfire, Weaver. Looks like a great pick to me. I do slightly favor what Polaris have going for them. I think it's a bit easier to play. And the heavy physical damage just works great. I think Lina against Razor is just not a hero that Razor can really get on top of. You're just going to melt to all the physical damage. So that makes life hard. But here we go. Let's get ourselves into game number 1 of this best of 3. Pop ourselves in, push all the right buttons, let's hope. Get ourselves up in game. There we go. Oh, nice. We got little SEA DPC logos. That's what I like to see for game number 1. As there we go. I don't have Cyclops here to blame for missing First Blood as well.
Prepare for battle.
If I go in, I might die.
It is going to be Polaris playing on the Radiant. Mention, we'll run through who's playing what. Give you guys a little look-see. This is always a good way to start the game. Xavier's playing the Weaver, Lelouch, the mid laner on the Lina, Force playing the Tidehunter, Mavis on Snapfire, and Natsumi playing the Monkey King. Over on the dire side, we've got Army Geniuses. We've got DB playing Razor, Varus playing Disruptor, Wormy playing Mars, and Azura on Tinker, and that leaves LYM, Lim, as I may call him at some points, playing the Rubik. No big surprises there. All hail Lelouch. I mean, if there's a star player in this game, I definitely look at Lelouch a bit and what he's been able to do on this Polaris team. Very, very impressive stuff coming out from him. As both teams going to kind of posture around this mid lane to start things off.
30 seconds to battle.
You love me.
See if there's any kind of early game clashes that are going to break out. Tide doesn't want anything to do with it. I love this. This Alliance voice line is just taken over. Everyone loves it. Love me some Bulldog. As here we go. 4 Polaris heroes looking to fight over this bottom room, but the Dire have the ward. They're going to see him as soon as they hop into vision. So far, just the Snapfire showing. Yeah, they show a few more. And yeah, Army Geniuses say, get us out. We don't want anything to do with this. So Lina versus Tinker in the mid lane. I would imagine slightly Lina favored lane, but maybe not heavily Lina favored lane. Oh, reconnection bug. Not sure what's going on there. Looks like he's going to have to be helping himself back into the game in just a second. No surprises by any of these items. It doesn't look like both mid laners going to be rushing the bottle. And down bottom, we've got the Mars with Rubik. As mentioned, very strong dual lane, but they're up against a Monkey King Snapfire. This lane, to me, sounds pretty scary. This is a lane where Mars is going to be careful. He's not going for that kind of, I would say, greedier build where we've seen 3 or sometimes even 4 gauntlets of strength. And, yeah, the scary thing is, like, Monkey is already good against these melee offlaners. Like, just being able to build up your passive, your Jingu. And then you've got a hero like Snapfire who, if you can't get that, 3rd or 4th hit off, you just cookie in the Monkey King to gap close. You hit a stun, Monkey King gets his Jingu, then you've got Boundless Strike. You amplify physical damage with a little Shredder. I mean, whichever build the Snapfire goes, I just feel like there's a lot of synergy with this Monkey King in lane, and this is going to be pretty scary. A lane where Mars has to play very safe, use that kind of Spear and God's Rebuke to push him away. Same for the Rubik, probably defensive telekinesis. Rubik not quite the offlaner that he used to be. Still has some strong laning with the Fadebot, but it's nowhere near what old Fadebot was. But it's a similar story up top. We've got Army Geniuses. They've got Razor versus Tide. So you talk about offlaners having a tough time. You have to kind of mention Tide Hunter or any offlaner playing against Razor when you're melee. I think the only offlane I've seen do okay was a Doom when Cuckoo played Doom into Razor and somehow came out on top. So we'll see how this one goes. It looks like maybe it's G chess. He wants to play some chess with his buddy. All right. They say Dota, you know, Dota's for plebs. Let's play chess. That's a gentleman's game. As I'm just enjoying this chat. All right, both teams are ready. Go and ready. They're reconnected. We don't have to do the chess, unfortunately. I know you guys in Twitch chat would have loved some chess streams. It's all the rage on Twitch these days. Or maybe that was more like 6 months ago. I don't know. I'm not up to date with the Twitch meta. I just follow the Dota 2 directory on Twitch, so I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to using some of these things. So early on mid lane, Lina having to go for the Dragon Slave. Laser, very annoying to lane into, and just wanting to make sure you can secure those last hits. We'll kind of keep an eye there early on for some of these CSs, but range 9, not bad. And Lelouch getting the range creep himself, so off to a good start, but not a lane where we expect too many kills. The kills are more likely than not happening in some of these side lanes. You've got a Weaver who's going to be kind of trying to push his hero to the, you know, absolute limit with the harass, trying to snipe some couriers maybe, as Weavers often do. Ooh, that's a shiny courier. And also bottom lane, as mentioned. Monkey Snapfire, a lane where definitely there is kill threat. Particularly, you know, with the little shred of the minus arm, and you get that Blightstone out early, and if Natsumi, maybe like around level 3 or so, gets that second point in Jingu, whatever build he wants to go for, this lane can start to look like a pretty juicy lane in terms of finding some kills.
Denied.
But yeah, no surprises so far with how these lanes have been set up, and it's really just a question of how much can these offlaners get. They want to get as much as possible early, because I feel like their lanes only get harder as levels get picked up by the safe lane. Like the Razor with level 2 static lane just scales so well. You're almost doubling the damage still. And level 1, as mentioned, this is where the lane is not as strong. Before that level 2 static link, they get a kill here. They use all that minus armor, and they're going to get 2 kills. Xavius is going to probably just happily throw away his life. He actually pops a Fairy Fire. He doesn't want to go back to base. He wants to stay up top. So rather than die, I'm a little surprised by that. Usually we just see these heroes intentionally die, but he didn't want to give them any gold. He wouldn't have given them experience. They were gone. They were dead. But it's a couple kills going their way. And down bottom, that's the other lane. Polaris, if they're getting kills up top, that's a good sign for the start of their draft. This is the power of Weaver. This early levels, this hero just does so much. Trying to come in, at least steal some experience. Disruptor and Razor just don't have that good catch from him. At least later on, Disruptor does. That's a hard hero for Weaver to play against in the mid game, but in the laning stage. Ooh, nice from Xavier. Snipes the creep. Ooh, gets denied on that one. If he'd gone that, would have been really nice for him. In the mid lane, Lina, Lelouch, whew. Getting Tinker down low, but he's got bottle charges. Using that to regen up. Lelouch forces out a Fairy Fire now. Keeping him honest, keeping him back, not letting him stay in this lane. He's going to need that 3-minute bounty room perhaps to refill his bottle. Same for Lelouch. Both mid laners in a position where they're just using all their health, all their mana to harass and do as much damage as possible. And it's Lina who's got that CS advantage.
Money
Bottom,
to burn.
Mavis. WB chips away at him. You can see Mars just itemizing bracers. He knows he needs to tank up as much as possible. Playing in the Monkey King lane, who is holding on to that 3rd skill point for now. Hasn't committed one way or another. Back at mid, we've seen Lelouch getting caught up a little bit by the Tinker. It was off to a rough start, but that last wave or two seems to have swung things to be a bit more even.
Soak it in!
And
smart money.
Polaris, Natsumi, the other big name on this team. I mentioned Lelouch and what he's done. Natsumi, former OB Neon player, Division 1, played at Majors. This guy's a force to be reckoned with, or qualified for Majors, I should say. The teams at the top doing a good job getting these some of these pulls off, making this lane a bit more manageable. You can see Army Geniuses just don't really want to fight. They want to keep this wave pulled back. That's how you kind of take advantage of Static Link. He's even gone for a second point in Plasma Field just because they're kind of avoiding fighting. But when the wave's back here, you're not really getting much value out of the Static Link because he's got the safety of his tower. You need to be able to fight around the wave here and chase him. So if he runs away, you can chase him and just build up that Static Link damage. You want to keep that wave close to your tower with heroes like Razor. Avius. Whoa! He's been caught in the kinetic field. He's got Fairy Fire as well as one charges. He's looking to maybe fight his way out of this one. Has a salve as well, and he's going to pop it, so... Just trying to contest this pull. He's going to see it happening with the bug, but... It's happening down bottom. Assuming he's gone diving in deep. Without the support of his Snapfire. I'm not sure how that one started off, but he's got to get himself out of there.
If I go in, I might die.
So back to safety he goes. Natsumi and Mavis just keeping this lane in a good spot for Natsumi to keep farming, but similar story for the Mars. So they've really just been trading farm down here. All the action we've seen has been in that top lane, while mid lane continues to go slightly Lina favored. The 11 denies to the 6. And slight CS advantage going Lina's way as well. Let's see what kind of moves can be made here around the maybe 6-minute power rune. That's where you often see these supports collapsing on the mid lane. For now, Lelouch just going back to farm his little camp. Probably thinking, you know, which supports can come and help me out. And Weaver, yeah, he's on the way. He's trying to get there as fast as possible to set up with the Shikuchi. Down bottom, you've got Rubik and Snapfire. Both teams bringing supports. Looks like Disruptor may stay up top, so it does mean maybe slight edge for Polaris as far as having more heroes rotating for the room. But Tinker, he rolls the dice and he gets it. It was kind of a 1v2, and Mavis didn't have the backup of the Lina there. Lina, you know, playing around the top side as you do. You want to farm this camp and then go for the rune. So if that rune spawns bottom, there's just nothing they could really do about it, assuming he makes a rotation. Mavis, you know, if Rubik doesn't go there, Mavis can get it. But once the Rubik shows up, you've got to give it to the Tinker. So he'll happily take the first rune. Not the biggest deal for him. Something change this game. Will help him farm a bit faster. You know, laser spam with regen rune. Very nice with the rearm. But Lina with a power rune, there's always that gank and kill threat, especially if you get something like a haste or an invis. So no action so far. We'll hop on over there. You know, this is a farming game. Take a peek at CS a bit later on, but you know, also just to make I say that really just to make sure I don't forget to swap to net worth later on, guys. It's been a while, okay? I haven't done this one in a little while. We're trying to, you know, avoid any snafus. Coming in, testing Rubik stacks. Oh, he misses the spear. And Mavis is going to cook himself to the high ground. He should be okay here. He can kind of juke and jive a bit. Blocks the camp with the sentry warders. Top lane where action's happening. They've dived, got the kill on the Disruptor, and tied with the TP out. He's going to be A-okay.
Are scanning.
Well, not the start Army Genius were hoping for with that top lane, perhaps. I do scan and know where this Lina is, but not sure that scan really... I guess it's good they know Lina's not ganking the side lanes, but at the same time, you're not really going to do anything about this Lina farming up. But getting the info is nice. Top lane, Weaver got a bit too aggressive. The Tinker rotated in. They get that kill, and they want more. Has a glimpse, and he's definitely close enough to pull him back. And yep, pulls him back with a glimpse. DB's going to be a little careful. Okay, Tinker's there with the laser. They get a couple kills up top, and Army Geniuses get themselves on the board in terms of some kills.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Does leave Natsumi somewhat alone to have this 1v1 lane, but Mara's just playing it safe. Anytime he's in any danger, we'll just spear the Monkey King away. Xavier, he's gonna be careful. He just Shikuchi'd in. He's gonna set up a kill from the Rubik, but he's A-okay because the Laguna Blade gives them the damage they need to quickly burst down that kill. And Shikuchi on out to dodge some of those heat-seeking missiles. Very nicely done by Weaver. Oh, sentry. Out of range. And out of range of the Observer Ward. Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Says Womi. Woe from Womi. Not the arena he was hoping for there. He wanted to catch someone. Hoping to get the Monkey King on the tree to break him down. And now Xavius is kind of trying to turn around. The spear is there. Potential telekinesis setup. He doesn't need it. He just spears him right in. Is there going to be... Yep, the laser to kill him off. The telekinesis before the Shikuchi. Nice kill for Army Geniuses, but these engines have been blocked.
Dire's structures
This sentry not going to find it out. The second sentry... Okay, yeah, they should see it once they go looking for it. And yeah, they're even pinging it. They seem to know it's being blocked. Good second sentry, get the Observer and the D-Ward on the block. Tinker just continuing to farm. Wants that Blink Dagger. That's maybe when he can get a bit more active. Whereas Lena's going to be playing a slower, steady game, trying to complete BKB. It looks like Polaris is happy to go for more of a slow, farm-oriented game. The Monkey King not interested in making any moves. He's max Tree Dance Primal Spring, though. Looking for that early game farming build, able to clear creep wave stacks. 350 damage nuke. This has become, I think, the more popular Monkey King build. You don't see the Jingu being max, really, these days anymore. Maybe a second point because the life still, almost doubles with that second skill point, but after, numerous Jingu nerfs over the days, definitely a lot more builds have started to prioritize fighting early. You're not picking Monkey King, for fighting in the mid game. Like, they're playing it slow for now, but it does feel like they're going to try and fight with this, like, maybe level 10-ish Monkey King with an Echo Saber and Lena BKB. Probably Monkey's going to go for an early BKB too. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. See what the move from Polaris is. They were all scouted underneath this ward, so this smoke may be a little bit telegraphed. They know they got that ward, but they still want to get in. Probably get some wards down themselves, or a ward down. Mavis drops it off, and they're going to set their eyes on this Rubik mid. This should be a kill. The question is, can they get this tower to full up, or is there a counterplay? Varroth on the Disruptor. Actually, maybe they don't get this kill with his TPI. He kind of scouts out the smoke from me and goes into the Static Storm. And Snapfire are going to be the one going down. The gank kind of failing here as Weaver gets glimpsed back in. Is in some trouble here. Nice Ravage coming out on the backlines here. That's going to be on Forces Mars, who gets bursted down by Natsumi, who jumps on in. Does trap them inside the arena here. Natsumi using that Mischief to try and block some damage here. Can he get out of this one? LYM stole the Swarm, and it's Azura with the laser who's going to set up this kill here. Force on the front lines, takes out one more, gets a Disruptor here, but the Plasma Field not enough damage to get Force, and LYM, he needs one charge, it's still not enough. The gosh, he still survives, and now he's going to play Ring Around a Rosie and dodge some kisses. Can he do it? LYM. Well, it's actually Lelouch who ends up sniping the kill. DB tips the Mars. I'm not sure what that's about. He's saying, Mars, you messed up? Because, yeah, he got in a decent arena off. The problem is he couldn't steer anyone to a wall. He was getting bursted down. Whoa.
They never miss.
Okay, Weaver. Interesting. Man, Lelouch, though. 2-0-2. His Lena. Not even going for that greedy, like, Boots of Travel Rush. Straight into BKB, as is the normal build. But, normal. I'd say normal, and the question is, do you get Boots of Travel, then BKB, or what? In this case, just
Radiant's
straight BKB.
bottom tower is under attack.
There's a Soul Ring in there as well for some extra mana sustain. I mean, the Soul Ring Lena to me just says farming, because, like,
Dire's top
this is not a hero that
tower
would
is
want to
under
sacrifice health for mana if you're
Radiant's
trying to fight.
bottom tower is under attack.
So once that BKB comes out, that story can very quickly change, though. I mentioned Monkey King, what he might look to go for now. It's just the Echo Saber. No BKB queued up or anything like that to go with it, but I think he knows this Lena is going to be a hero that can kind of carry into the late game, particularly with this kind of heavy minus armor they've got. Down bottom, Tide Force just trying to go for a Blink Dagger. Standard build from him. Weaver going for the Spirit Vessel, looking around, seeing what, no crazy healing on this Dire side, but Spirit Vessel, always a good item. You don't usually feel bad about getting a Spirit Vessel on your team. Bare minimum, you want to get that urn at least.
Dire are scanning.
Let's see if Army Genes have any ideas of making any moves themselves. 3 points in the glimpse, so any kind of smoke hatch can always set up on most of these heroes, other than the Lean, who does have BKB. It's the one hero they don't really have a good answer for at this point of the game. About to hit level 13 as well, Lelouch. It's getting big and scary. Tinker trying to farm some Ancients. Level 11.5. We'll be maybe hitting almost level 12 off of these Ancients. Be a
Radiant's
little bit
middle tower is under attack.
Here, but he's just working on that Ag Scepter for time being. Looks like Polaris have objectives in mind.
Smart money.
The top lane we go, and they seem to have an idea of where this Rubik is. They're pinging it. He goes for the TP out. Is there an LSA? Ooh, Lelouch a little bit late.
Dire's top tower
I don't think he... Force knew exactly where he was. He was pinging it. It was Lelouch who didn't believe in his tide. He's like, no, he's over here. He's over here. He's further to the left. after
Double damage.
had the wrong read, and by chopping all these trees, they know they can safely get this tower, and it doesn't look like they're going to try and defend their own tower. They have to have already probably TP'd if they wanted to do that. They'd much rather defend this mid lane. So both teams trading their offlane towers and probably going to be somewhat giving up their jungle, but that's something Army Geniuses, you got to be a little bit careful of. They're giving up this like top area of the map around up here. Then that's Roshan. Swarm, Snapfire, like we're going to have an early medallion. This Rosh is going to melt to the physical damage, so you've got to be a little bit careful about giving up all this top area of the map and only playing around bottom if you're Army Geniuses. Unless they feel like they can fight into an Aegis, but I think they're going to have to at least try keep tabs on it to some extent. And they don't have any kind of summons or easy way to scout it this game. No Beastmaster, no Nature's Prophet or whatever it may be, like it, etc. Clockwork. They don't have that good vision hero. So yeah, we'll see how they approach that one. Not to say that Polaris are going to be running right into the pit, but with both mid and top towers taken, if they can push out these waves, to the tier 2s, suddenly it's Polaris who put themselves in a good spot here. Disruptor. Flips back. He's actually going to live. With the Boundless Strike missing, he gets away. So a bit of a misplay from Natsumi there. Not going to be punished. It was just a support kill, but still nice to get out of there. Weaver, Shikuchi could get stolen. Oh, he's already been stolen. Rubik's fishing, looking for this kill. Okay. Seems like Xavius has an idea of what's going on. No Urn Spirit Vessel charge. That kind of says a lot about the state of this game for both teams, that they're just playing this slow, safe, steady game. Let's not make any mistakes. Let's not force bad fights. Weaver's not even trying to... usually these Urn or Vessel heroes are like, I gotta go get a charge, guys. Let's go fight. Let's go gang. We gotta do something, but I think Polaris are gonna wait for this Blink Dagger being the big item, probably. What's this monkey got? He's got the Mithril Hammer queued up. Wonder if that's BKB or Deso. I don't think it's Deso with the Orb of Corrosion or the upgrade, and he's being...
Radiant are scanning.
Being hunted. Throws out the scan knowing that this is not a safe place for him to be. And boing his way out of there. Where's his monkey's career? Yeah, he's got... Ooh, there we go. Got that Mithril Hammer. I guess he's just deciding, but I would imagine BKB... We'll find out. I mean, with something like a Deso, he could very quickly take Roshan for the team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid lane, Force has finished off his Blink Dagger, and that may be smoke time. We'll see. They've got 2 on the Snapfire, so they've been, hoarding smokes because they just don't feel like they have the best playmaking, but with all these items being completed, you've got to imagine they're going to be thinking, okay, we can go soon. Lena's not there, but Lena has the boot to travel, and uh-oh, Disruptor. The Observer Ward probably seeing him go in there. They knew exactly where he was, and I think Disruptor now knows, oh, there was a ward somewhere there. Both teams going to go scout looking for wards, but Dire done a, I was going to say good job hiding their wards, but some of these, just obvious cliff spots. Nothing too crazy. This Observer Ward may be a little bit harder to de-ward, not on the cliff, but still a pretty common place to use, and yep, there it is. It's going to be the BKB, probably looking to disassemble this Echo Saber to get it even faster. As in goes Xavius, Blink, Ravage gets BKB. Nice play from Wovi. Does turn around, get the arena off. The problem is the loot has a BKB of his own. Now he's just going to look to turn and try right-click down the Mars, but it's a 9-second BKB, and Xavius, he's going to hightail it out there. They're going to be careful because there's a glimpse back, and that's onto Lelouch, who's got no more BKB. He's just going to turn, do as much damage as he can, accept his fate, and DP on the Razor with the front line BKB of his own. These BKB timings for both teams spelled. It's time to fight. Womi's lost his, so he's trying to do what he can to soak up damage without dying here, but he's getting pretty low hit. But with the Bulwark, he's pretty tanky. Xavius, nice little bit of damage there. Gets the Swarm out onto the Tinker, but elsewhere to the side, it's Razor just charging forward, finishing off his support. Assuming he gets the support of his own, and he could go for the TP out. Both teams using several BKBs. Looks like Weaver is going to get away from this Rubik. Very crazy fight there. I believe it ends up, kind of just ends up even, or if anything, maybe Army Genius. They killed the Lena, so I think that's the big kill of that fight. Lena going down would give the edge to Army Geniuses, as, we don't get to see what Gaben says with the teamfight recap, apparently. He doesn't want to give us any teamfight recaps today.
A golden thread.
But, yeah, Lina dying. Razor showing up. Hadn't really been keeping tabs of BB's
Radiant's
items.
middle tower is under
You know,
attack.
I was talking about the timings with the Lina and the Blink Ravage, but that Blink Ravage didn't
Invisibility.
connect the way he hoped it to. He caught a support, but the Mars was fast on the fingers with his BKB, and that meant Mars was able to get off his spells. If they catch the Mars, you're fine with that Ravage, even though it's just an offlaner, because you kill Mars and he doesn't use his spells. Perhaps Lina, the reason Lina has BKB is because Mars gets his BKB off, so Lina could have held onto her BKB. It was kind of this ripple-on effect, so that fight basically comes down to Womi's fast reactions there. Force.
Dire's top tower is under
Tide,
attack.
though. I think they were hoping it was like a Monkey King down here, perhaps, but when they realize it's a Tide, they decide not to commit to him. And the problem is now they've shown Hero's bottom. That sets up a potentially easy Roshan.
Radiant's
Aegis.
bottom
Looks
tower
like
is
Natsumi
under
has his
attack.
mind on it.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Not much. I feel like it was kind of inevitable. Army Geniuses, you know, probably looked at this draft and said, you know, there's going to come a point where we're just playing not near Roshan and they can just sneak in and kill Rosh too fast. And there's not a whole lot we can maybe do about it. Interesting, Womi, not even going for the blink here. And you can see that last fight, you're not even minding his build. Probably goes back for the blink now, but making good use of that BKB. And Razor with a plate melt, so, you know, mentioned it's all physical damage. You have to go for these kind of casual armor items, but when he gets a refresher, I feel like Army Genius is going to have a nice little power spike. Try and fight. That seems to be something Polaris don't want to just give away so easily. They've got Aegis, and they want to fight now. King's on the front line. Is that a... Yeah. Echo Saber, Aquila, he is well and truly ready to fight. Going for these early, you know, this isn't
Dire's
the old
top
school
tower
farming
is
monkeys
under
with Battle
attack.
Fury, Maelstroms.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Kind of,
attack.
you know, they don't want to just sit back and go into this kind of passive
Radiant
farming
are
game
scanning.
too much. They have got this double carry with the Lina. I guess, I mean, Army Geniuses themselves, Tinker definitely a scaling hero, not like a
Dire
right
scanning.
carry, but... Catch Disruptor here, nice glimpse back, and Natsumi doesn't want to BKB just for a glimpse, so... As a result, they only kill the support. So good response from Army Geniuses, really. I mean, yeah, they lose one, and Polaris are getting ahead, but for Army Geniuses to not get caught there is really nicely done. And the second they throw away Disruptor's Lash, they farm the Ancients, they're farming top, they're farming their jungle with Rubik. You know, they're getting farm out of the map while their opponents have Aegis. So for Polaris, you're thinking we need to take a lot of objectives and
Dire's
not let
bottom tower is
Army
under
Geniuses
attack.
just run away from us repeatedly and get more and more farm. Like Tinker getting Scott his axe, getting refreshed. All these items coming up can cause them problems, especially if they're not going to have the Aegis forever. They're really trying to force these fights.
My favorite.
Me. Uh-oh, he didn't
Dire's
BKB, he got caught by the
bottom tower
Boundless.
is under attack.
The physical damage is going to be too much for him. He does throughout the arena in the end, but Natsumi with the BKB on the front lines is chasing. He wants more. Finds the Rubik, and Rubik, oh, nicely timed LSA. The stolen Lina stun will keep the Monkey King at bay, and that actually keeps the Rubik alive. He timed it right as the BKB wore off. So they lose the Mars there. A good fight.
Dire's
This one,
middle
you know, that's the
tower is
bigger
under
kill for
attack.
Polaris, because not only are they getting a kill, it's on the Dire side of the map, and they're keeping Dire away from farming. You got to hunt them and stop them farming the map, not just hunt them and
Money's
kill a
burn.
a support, or kill on the Mars where everyone else on this team is farming. You don't feel as good about, but knowing that they had to bring a lot of heroes to help them out, and you're playing on the enemy side of the map feels a lot better. Down bottom, we've got Tinker with his Aghanim Scepter. We'll see what he can do. And Weaver, after the vessels, almost already farmed up an Axe as well. A lot of farm coming their way. And something where I feel like Polaris has done a good job just kind of
Dire's top
spreading it
tower is
around,
under
making sure their
attack.
supports get some, you know, nifty, useful items, while making sure that their cores stay near top of the network. They're going to go for the tier 2 tower play. Use the kind of last minute of this
Dire's
Aegis
top
to take
tower
over this
has
jungle,
fallen.
get the outpost, and we'll see if Army Genius can do the same. I don't imagine Polaris just let this one go for free, but Xavier's going to be a little careful. They ping him. I think they may have even seen him. I'm not entirely sure. He's currently on a sentry, but Reserve award
Radiant's
a bit further
bottom
away. He
tower is
should
under
know there's a
attack.
very high chance of a ward being here. Like, you don't just go shakooching on through expecting no wards. And yeah, Polaris, they want to take a tier 2 tower while defending their own. When you've got the Aegis, you're the ones with an edge. You don't want to trade evenly. You always want to make sure you're getting these advantageous trades. And Army Geniuses, they know this. They back off. They're like, okay, you're going to take out top tower. They just have to accept that, you know, they're going to fall slightly further behind. This 2k gold lead turned into a 3 to 4k gold lead. And because of the Aegis, because of their item timings, that's just something they can't avoid. You know, having double... This Razor, essentially 4,000 gold of, like, Razor's net worth is not being used. Like, Perseverance doesn't really do anything for you. So until this refresher comes out, I don't imagine they want to try and take a fight.
Radiant are scanning.
A golden thread.
We'll see now with Aegis down what the call is going to be for these two teams. So Natsumi mentioned item timings. You know, he's getting closer and closer to Silver Edge, so maybe feeling like that's something that they can make a fight or a play around. Azura's Tinker has a Hex queued up, but level-wise he's falling behind, but even farm-wise, he's not really up there with the three big dogs, the two carries of this game. He's not, you know... For all the Tinker haters out there, just be happy this isn't Tinker with, like, you know, old school March of the Machines delaying games. And also just the fact that Tinker could farm so well with March of the Machines, TPing around the map, March a Wave. I mean, you can use Laser still to farm, but it's not the same as March. Here we go. I feel like it's time. The Deso is the item pickup that leads to this one. They've got level 18 as well, so level 3. Wukong's command. What are they going to find here? DP. Got a Boundless Strike to perhaps set this one up. He's trying to get close enough for it. They're going to collapse on this tower. Does he go for the Boundless Strike and the Blink Ravage? That's kind of the play, perhaps. That's exactly what they do. They blow him up. What did Rubik steal? It's just a Gush. Nicely dropped protecting his Ravage, knocking into the Rubik, and they want more. The physical damage from Natsumi is going to force DB back. He stole some good damage here, but Natsumi with a Deso. Not to mention the Wukongs. He still hurts. And Varus on the Disruptors in all sorts of trouble. Just drops the Static Storm, perhaps knowing his fate here. Lelouch comes in with the right clicks. He gets back to the high ground, though, so that's going to keep him alive. We were at the time-lapse away there. He did dive in on the high ground to try to get him some vision and set up some additional kills, but good play from Disruptor to get out there and prevent any further casualties. But you can see Polaris is very disciplined, methodical
Dire's
play.
bottom tower is under
Blink
attack.
Ravage for an offlaner. They're not getting greedy.
Are
A lot of teams there
fortified.
would have been like, let's try and kill this Razor. And if you don't kill the Razor, or he gets a BKB off, the fight goes horribly for you because Mars is going to counterplay it.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Tower,
If I go
BKB
in,
out.
I might die. If I go in, I might die.
Dire's middle
Not
tower
at the
is
lowest
under attack.
BKB. He's, you know, well, he was at 8 seconds before that, so he is using these long duration BKBs, but
Regeneration.
I don't. Me personally, I think that's one of those kind of overrated things where it's like, oh, that's your, you know, 10-second BKB, which no longer is a 9-second BKB. But like the 9 versus the 6, it's a big difference in duration. But at the same time, like you're rushing this BKB knowing you're going to be actively using it, and you're using it. The reason they have this 8K gold lead is because they rush these BKBs, which they then have to use. Without BKBs, they couldn't be making the plays
Radiant's
that they're
top
making.
tower is under attack.
By all means, not an issue that players have to worry about using a BKB like that. Lelouch is more than happy to have gotten a tower and gotten out. So refresher timing for the Razor. Level 3 ultimate as well. We'll see what they can do here. Looking around to see any Philosopher's Stone. No, I would love to get an Agnum Scepter on this Disruptor, but it's so much harder to do when you don't get like a Philosopher's Stone. As for Polaris, probably looking to play around that next Roshan. Respawning in 7 seconds. Disruptor's trying to scout it out, but... Oh, don't. Yeah, let's say. You're going to go back.
Tower is under
Get those
attack.
neutral items. I imagine both teams will be trying to maybe get some of these tier 3 neutral items ready for that next fight. And it is Army Genius in a good position around this Roshan pit. The problem is, there's a Radiant Ward, which they have not found. So they are being scouted out here, and Varus gets sniped to start things off. Wormy with a knife. Blink, spear, onto the Lena. Is the follow-up damage going to be there? Lelouch gets out of the arena with the BKB. Silver Edge helping him out as well. Pops the Illusion Rune as well. The Ravage now comes into play with Natsumi. Following up the Wukong's command. They want this Razor with the Cookie Stun. They've got him. Weaver and the Static Storm will go down, and the Lina did end up dying on the backlines. Won't he sniped Lelouch. That's the big kill they've been looking for, and with the Tinker rearming damage, they get Natsumi as well, and Army Geniuses have won the big fight around the Roshan pit, using their vision both on the hill as well as the enemy Ancients to really just chase them down. I think this ward is probably partly why Womi, the Mars, the hero of that fight, 2-4-4, he's not had a good game, but he makes up for it with some big plays in that fight. They can get Roshan, that'd be huge here. The Tide the Axe trying to harass them, but also kind of maybe helping them if he flips Roshan. But he's thinking like, you know, I got to do what I can to dish out some damage, force him out of the pit. And unfortunately for Army Geniuses, they don't take Roach that well. Even if Razor was alive, that's their carry, their physical damage. You need the static link damage. It's just not a hero that's really good at killing Roach. So it's late game Dota. We've got, you know, level 3 rearm Tinker now. This is late game Tinker. And if you can kite out these BKBs, for both teams, it's about kiting out these BKBs. Like, Polaris committed their BKBs, and then as soon as they wore off, things went south. The fact Lina had to use BKB defensively, that's usually the bad signs. If you're using BKB just to live and not turn and fight, you're in a tough spot. Particularly when your opponents can chase. That BKB wears off, there's a potential glimpse. Mars to catch you. And Mars is doing just that in the mid lane with Static Storm to follow up the Arena Spear. Nice kill, because that's the save. Weaver is priority number 1. You can't be standing out in front, which is, I think, something hard for... Oh, hold that thought. Natsumi, great 2-hero Sun to start things off. And he goes in, deletes the Tinker. Tinker haters rejoice as Natsumi is just shredding through Polaris, but BB on the front lines now.
That's one way
Looking to turn this one around. As the double static link, double Eye of the Storm. He's hard to fight into and did manage to take out the support Snapfire, but that's really all he got there, so not really enough to make it worthwhile. And yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he can go for Roshan. He kind of thought about going in the pit, but quickly changed his mind. Mavis thinking they're in Roshan is going to buy back. Perhaps an unnecessary buyback, but maybe one that gives Polaris Roshan themselves. Alicia's like, yeah, surely they're not. Okay, just double checks. We'll see if Polaris try and get Roche themselves. It looks like they have other ideas initially in mind. They think about going for smoke out to get some kills. They quickly realize, oh, no one's here. We deward, we get Roshan. This is Roche number 2, so you're looking at Aghanim Shard. We'll see where that ends up, whether it's the monkey or the...
Roshan
probably
has
monkey.
fallen to the Radiant.
Oh, neither? Oh, where did it end up? Where did the supports take it? Oh, Weaver. Unless he bought his own. Yeah, it looks like Weaver took it. Okay. The Swarm buff. Yep. Against... Is there Invis? I don't believe so. But still a good... I mean, very good shard. Either way. Just making sure he didn't actually buy one. Yeah, no, neither. It's just so typically the cores that are taking those early shards. But Weaver's saying, nope, that's mine. Army Genius is down 11k gold up against
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We'll see what they can do here. Lelouch trying to get a Silver Edge initiation here. They have got a dust, but no gem, so they're not going to maybe see this one coming, but doesn't want to get too close.
Illusion.
They are chasing, hunting. Force hoping that they maybe walk up to their Ancients and he can get off a good Ravage here, but doesn't look like they're going to come his way. Mavis, what's he up to? Some warding. Don't believe he showed himself there. Blink. Natsumi goes in with a Ravage backup. Laguna Blade gonna look to finish off DB. Razor goes down. Zura in trouble as well. That's a dead Tinker, and the Tide may be dying here inside the arena, but he's done his job. He got off a great Ravage here. The question is, can Lina get out? DB would love to chase him down, and this is that big, scary Razor. They killed him once, but they didn't anticipate the buyback. And with Natsumi having been Thunderstruck, he may get chased down as well. The damage stopping him from going for a tree dance. He tries to mischief his way out of this one, but he's being caught and chased down. Mavis wanted to bail him out, but couldn't succeed in doing so. And now with the Aegis respawn, he does Managed to blink away, but he gets instantly lifted up, but the telekinesis is going to catch him, and Natsumi without a BKB is in all sorts of trouble. They brought back the tide for this. They could be feeding a lot here unless he can get this kill on DB. That's the big one he needs to find a way to get. The plasma field is there to chase down Natsumi. He's life stealing his way through this one. The disarm comes, but it's too late with the halberd. They get Natsumi, but at what cost? Force is going to blink in and get himself a double kill. The Razor dies back in this fight, and the two tanky boys, the only ones left standing there, like, do we fight? Like, we both got 3,000 health and no damage. We can, you know, put on a show, but it's not going to be a very exciting one. Force, okay, Force says, let's do this. All right, let's go, let's brawl. Because Weave is now showing out to turn the tides. It's now a 2 versus 2. Both of these tanky boys getting an support to help them out. But both teams losing their carry, losing their mid, and in the case of Army Geniuses, losing their carry twice. The Razor with a dieback there. Costly, costly, costly. Still, I mean, considering they're up against Aegis, like, I don't hate it. I think it's, and if anything, I feel like that ends up being a kind of even-ish trade. It just means Army Geniuses are in a bit of a precarious position because that 6-minute cooldown on buyback could become a problem. But Tinker's buyback's still down from the previous team fight, so, you know, they're playing without these buybacks, but they're using these buybacks to at least turn lost fights into even fights. That's kind of how I would, you know, read what we just saw. Don't think they're definitely not coming out on top, but they're preventing Polaris from winning this game. Like, you know, Polaris with an Aegis taking a big fight where they get that good of a Ravage initiation, you'd expect more. Nice Blink Spear. Gets him on the edge of the arena as well. Can they burst down this Lina with the Hex? The Tinker is going to ensure that he can't BKB, and Weaver trying to shoot him out of the arena. Not so lucky. The Tinker is just shredding him apart.
Entraptionated.
Tips his buddy Disruptor.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Polaris who lose 3, and this time around, that is a teamfight victory. I think catching them by surprise because it's like, hey, Razor's dead. They're not going to fight us, right? We can go out, but Tinker Hex preventing Lina getting off a BKB, and the Mars Spear. Just Lina needed to react and get that insta BKB off, which is, you know, you're asking almost too much there. You can't rely on that.
Fortified.
So it's Army Geniuses who put themselves in a good position to bring this game back to even.
Radiant's middle tower has
mid tower's claimed. Natsumi's really a little careful. There's that ward behind the tower. Looking to get vision. If they drop an arena, it's on cooldown. Mars could get caught. Ooh, he fishes. They get the lift. Hex is there potentially, but gets the BKB off. And the Blink Ravage. Tinker! He wasn't ready for that. That Blink Ravage just deleted him from the game, but Wormy's going in. He thinks this is the fight to take as DB charges forward as well with the BKB and the refresh. He's going to have double ultimate, double BKB. He's fighting the Monkey King in the Wukong's command. Have they got the damage for this? Not with the second refresh to Ravage. Force, he turns this one around. Holy moly, he's doing it. Wormy's got no chance to get out of this one with the bug on him, and Natsumi has been kept alive despite losing all this damage. Army Geniuses thought they had an opening there to go in, but they did not anticipate the refresher. They almost certainly did not see it, or they wouldn't have made that play. It looked good. They thought they could get Natsumi, but he just healed his way through it with the Jingu. The Razor didn't actually end up getting off the second BKB for the Ravage, or maybe things go a little bit better, but they weren't that close to killing Natsumi. And Polaris may have found the opening they were waiting for to clinch game number 1. They're going to get Varus on the Disruptor. Xavius is looking for more. He's trying to find LYM on the Rubik. The buyback from Disruptor is there, but no Tinker buyback, no Razor buyback.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Radiant going for the high ground here. They've got the jump on the Rubik. Might as well buy back. He needs to spear them back, but only gets him into the Throny, and Natsumi gets helped out by the time lapse.
Dire's top tower
Looks like
has fallen.
Polaris are going to be able to take their first lane of racks here. Glimpse into spear, but there's just no damage. Maybe with the Tinker there is. That's the hero they need. They have to kill this pesky Weaver, otherwise people just keep getting saved. But the problem is, on the front lines is Natsumi. They're just keeping this Tinker at bay. The Wukong's command just zoning everyone with that level 25. Just the one lane of Raxo, so Polaris haven't really clinched this game just yet, even though they put themselves in a really good position. See where Army Geniuses go from here. They'd love a Razor 25, but it's not particularly close for them. Mars, actually. I was like, wait, any of them need 25? And apparently it's Mars. I guess he's just been getting a lot of XP. He solo killed the Lina that one fight. Well, I say so. I mean, he had some help, but he got the solo XP for the Lina kill, which is probably why he's so high level. Not the okay 25s. The arena HP regen, I don't even know which way it goes. It doesn't have damage to really synergize with the GoDz Rebuke, but maybe they feel like they need damage anyways. But with a Refresher, I got to imagine he's going for the HP
Money
regen.
to burn. Dire are scanning.
Either way, they're not like game-changing 25s. They're not, yeah. Not things like, I feel like the Monkeys is much more impactful in this game. That huge ring that you just don't want to fight under. Well, Polaris now Lincoln Sphere and a Flicker. This Lina will be so hard to get on top of. What's the move going to be? Polaris trying to find that pick-off to clinch this game. Razor without buyback for 90 seconds. Also needs the money for it. Bought an AC. Makes a lot of sense. Lelouch on the front lines here. He's smoked up, and they get the blink on the high ground. The blink. Ravage catches out 3. Instantly killing 1. The second Ravage is there. The Razor doesn't get a chance to use a spell or an item. That's got to be game over, especially if they kill the last 2 heroes here. Varus on the Disruptor. Well, no chance for him. Azura maybe. The Tinker can be a little bit more elusive, but wouldn't be surprised to see a GG call here as Polaris with a double Ravage onto the Razor Mars. And Rubik just clinched the game. Great exclamation mark to end this one. And they make a bit of a statement with a great Tide Refresher coming up big.
Dire's middle barrage is under victory.
Polaris 4-0 and 1 game closer to being 5-0 now. Ooh, Division 2 is... It's spicy. It's spicy at the top with these 3 teams. You've got Ragdoll, Enigma Galaxy, and Polaris, all undefeated. And they're all on this collision course for each other because, you know, we're in week 5. We're nearly at the end of Division 2. They can't remain undefeated forever. You can't have 3 undefeated teams. You can't even have 2. So we're going to see those teams clash later on. But for now, Polaris trying to get the job done against Army Geniuses. And so far with a game 1, pretty solid, convincing stuff in terms of just playing it very methodically. They didn't take any chances. This is kind of DPC Dota. It's one of those things where if this is a third-party online event, they probably try and push their advantage, take some more aggressive fights, but they know, look, we're going to play it safe, get the win, and they do just that. So game number 1 is a wrap. That was fun. I'm going to be bringing back in John X Fire for game number 2. You can see his name over that way. That's him. He will be here, I hope. If everything's working, I got to push some buttons today. I don't know what's going on. I'm just hoping I don't break everything. But we're going to come back, guys. Take a break. Game number 2 is coming up, and I'll be joined by John. So stick around. More SEA Division 2 action from the DPC League coming your way soon.